How Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford finally came to fruition. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford argued in the bowels of Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City in 2018. An otherwise ordinary back-and-forth exchange that went on to hold outsized significance to boxing fans everywhere. A matchup between two of boxing's best fighters was ripe on that November evening nearly 5 years ago. But for a variety of reasons since that day, the bout couldn't be delivered. Fans instead settled for years as Spence, 28-0, 22 KOs, and Crawford, 39-0, 30 KOs, fought each other with incendiary words outside the ring as a multitude of issues prevented a matchup from materializing. It's rare for two undefeated elite boxers like Spence and Crawford to campaign at the same weight at the same time. Both in their prime and near the top of the pound-for-pound list. But the politics of boxing stood in the way. Crawford was with Top Rank and Spence with PBC, promotional companies that rarely conduct business with each other. A deal finally seemed on the precipice of reality last September, only for talks to collapse at the 11th hour. Spence seemed destined to move up to 154 pounds for a summer bout against former unified welterweight champion Keith Thurman, perhaps once and for all denying the sport a welterweight summit meeting with Crawford. Fortunately, the fighters took matters into their own hands. Crawford said he pushed the fight negotiations forward with a lengthy phone call in March and set the wheels in motion for what is arguably the most relevant boxing match since Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao in 2015. "I knew I had to make it happen," Spence, 33, said at his media workout last week in Las Vegas. "This is what everyone wanted. We have to prove who the man is in the welterweight division and in boxing. The winner of this fight is the best fighter in boxing. Period. No, Spence and Crawford won't come close to matching the astronomical revenue generated by Mayweather and Pacquiao, records that stand today. But unlike Mayweather and Pacquiao, both all-time greats, it can be argued that Spence and Crawford, 35, are peaking athletically. They will enter the ring on Saturday in Las Vegas with their unblemished records intact and with all major 4 welterweight titles on the line. Spence, who holds the WBC, WBA and IBF titles, will meet Crawford, the WBO champion, for welterweight supremacy if not pound-for-pound supremacy too. Spence is ESPN's number 4 boxer regardless of weight, while Crawford tops the list at number 1. "This fight is happening at the right time," Crawford said at his own media workout last week in Las Vegas. "All the belts are on the line, so there's even more to fight for. What better way to have this fight than to have it for the undisputed welterweight title?" The journey to Spence Crawford was a long and winding one, but it's here at long last. This is how the fight finally came to fruition. May 27, 2017, in his first pro fight outside of North America, Spence traveled from Texas to Sheffield, England, for his first championship opportunity against local hero Kell Brook. Spence delivered with a star-making performance to capture the IBF welterweight title. Brook was in control over the first half of the bout, but Spence broke through in the second half on the strength of his precise southpaw jab and body punching. As Spence poured on the punishment, he closed Brook's left eye and forced him to take a knee from a barrage of punches in round 10. In round 11, Brook was on the canvas again. This time, the referee waved the fight off. Spence fractured Brook's left orbital in the bout, a fight after Brook suffered a fractured right orbital when he faced Gennady Golovkin. "He's one of the best kids I've been in with, if not the best," Brook said of Spence after the fight. Said Spence, "A true champion goes anywhere to fight. He has gone to America and fought, so I came here. The goal is to unify and become undisputed welterweight champion of the world."